Hello guys, my name is Ishe and today I'm going to break down my story on how I got into software engineering. So let's rewind to when I was 6 years old. So when I was 6 years old, I used to go to school in another city called, it was called Sinoia. And then after that, I used to go to my dad's office. So at my dad's office, they had computers there, but we didn't have a computer at home. So when I was there, I used to play this Atari game called, I'm not sure of the name, but it's an Atari game where you'll be shooting enemies. That's how I used to spend my time after 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 school at my dad's office playing video games. And then fast forward to when I was 15 years old. That's when I got my first Android phone, which was a Samsung Galaxy Young. I'm sure you guys don't even know about that phone, but at that time, that was the budget phones in my country in Zimbabwe, Samsung Galaxy Young. And also, when I was 15 years, that's when my dad bought me my first PC. Because at that time, my dad used to say that the world is evolving, so you need to have a computer so that when you grow up, you'll be familiar with computers, since everything is now breaking into computers. So when I got my first Galaxy Young, I remember very well, it had Android 2.3.3 Gingerbread at that time. So that's when I started downloading these applications in my phone. But the thing was that whenever I downloaded an application, I always had that curiosity, like, how do these applications work? So at that time, also, I was so fortunate that at that time, at my school, I was doing computer science as a subject because I was in a science class. At my school, there used to be a science class and then commercial class. So I was in the science class. I was doing computer science. So that's when we used to do these algorithms and pseudocodes. So when I was 15, that's when I started researching how one develops Android applications. So the first thing that I saw was that you need to first learn Java programming language, and then after Java, then you need to learn like Android development. So I tried learning Java at that time, but it was so hard for me that I just quit and then I left it like that. And then fast forward again 2 years after, when I was 17 years old. That's when I started learning C Sharp as my programming language. At that time, I now had a Windows phone, a Lumia 520, a Windows phone. So I wanted to create applications for Lumia phones, because I still remember at that time I was a huge Windows fan. So that's when I learned C Sharp from this code from MSDN. It was from MSDN by this guy called Bob Tabor. If you guys know the guy, he's called Bob Tabor. He's a good mentor, by the way. That's when I learned C Sharp from data types, classes, enumerations, and all these different types of programming concept. And then after that, I was using Visual Studio. I used to create just simple console applications whereby it would just display my name or my home address and something like that. But I wanted to move further. That's when I transitioned from C Sharp to Java. It was around when I was 18 years old. So moving from C Sharp to Java was kind of easy because most of the concepts were kind of similar. So I started learning Java, and then after Java, that's when I started learning how to create Android applications. I watched this YouTube video, but I forgot the guy. If I find the guy, I'm going to put him on the here. You see the name of the guy. That's when I learned developing Android applications. But before that, that's when we wrote our final exams for high school. But what happened, unfortunately, is that I didn't get my results were not as pleasing as I would like. So I was actually devastated. But there is one thing that my father told me that stuck with me up to this day. So I was depressed, and then we were just coming from collecting my results. And then my father, one thing he asked me is that, what's your passion? And then I said, computers. And then he said, so do these results reflect your passion for computers? And then I said no. And then he said to me that the most important thing is your passion and how it will drive you to be a good computer scientist. He said that these results are independent of the future. They don't tell you what happened on the exam day. Maybe you were not, the topic that you read didn't come on the exam day, so they did not reflect how intelligent you are. But if you continue to work hard on computers, then you'll be a good software engineer. So that's when I moved into Android development. And then 2019, that's when I created my first mobile application. It was called e-logistics. So e-logistics was sort of like a marketplace for load companies and also truck companies, where truck companies could upload their truck so that if there are someone looking for a truck, they could simply contact the truck company. And also load companies could also list their loads on the application, so that if there is someone with a truck who is looking for a load, they could easily find the load company. But unfortunately, after uploading the application on Google Play Store for around 3 months, I removed the application from Google Play Store because I said, nah, there were no downloads. I just thought that no one liked the idea. But after about 2 years, there's this big telecom company in my country called Econet. They also created their own application, their similar application. That's when I saw that the application had potential, but I quit easily. But yeah, those are some of the lessons. And then after that, that's when I created my second application in end of 2020, called House Flip. So House Flip is a real estate market so what happened is that when I was growing up, we used to live in a city and people used to come every day, like knocking on our gate, looking for extra rooms or a code to rent the cottage. So that's when I thought of this idea. Instead of people moving from one place to another, why don't I just create a simple application whereby landlords could just upload extra rooms or their cottages or properties on the application, and then those who are looking for rooms or cottages could simply go on the application and then contact the landlord there, instead of moving from one place to the other, which is also tiresome. Also, it also allows, also if you're a tenant looking for a place to rent, you can easily list your request, and then your specifications. And then if a landlord who is looking for a tenant can easily contact you via the application, right? So also that's when also I got in. That's why also I was fascinated by machine learning. So I started also learning machine learning around 2019. After learning machine learning about 2019, I did Andrew New's course of deep learning specialization, and I also learned on classical machine learning algorithms. If you guys check my older videos, you can see that I have older of machine learning tutorials on my YouTube channel. So after that, that's when I created another mobile application for farmers called Dr. Plantex. So what Dr. Plantex does, it's an Android application that allows farmers to easily detect plant diseases using their smartphone camera. You just need your smartphone camera, you point it on the plant leaves, and then if your plant is infected by disease, then it will notify you on the type of disease that your plants are affected with. So although this application, there is much more to improve, so that's other application. And then around 2022, that's when also I started learning Flutter, which is a cross-platform mobile application development framework by Google. So after learning Flutter, I was also approached by this startup in Africa that's trying to build a food delivery application in 2023 in Ivory Coast. So they approached me to create a food delivery application for them. That's when I joined them, and then I created this food delivery application for them. I think around March or so, it's going to be launched in Ivory Coast. So once they launch the application, I'm going to drop another video, guys, showing you uh, how the application looks and how it works when they release it. So that's my story on how, my summary story on how I became a software engineer, is how I got into software engineering. So if you guys find this story inspiring, you can just comment down below. And also, if you want to become a mobile developer, you can check also my mobile development tutorials in my YouTube channel. I'll be dropping these tutorials each and every month. And also check my machine learning tutorials if you want to become a machine learning engineer. Thanks.